So when last we left off, the party was in a forested valley and they were hunting down some giants, specifically an undead giant that they've heard is roaming the area and talking to living giants. And so you guys have approached and you can see what you see.
Well, I'm trying to remember if we had heard anything about the location of where this giant was seen speaking to them, or if we just heard that it was speaking to them.
It would have been towards where Seraphina came back from.
Yeah, she mentions that there's a campfire up ahead that
It
you
was
can see,
Seraphina, right? Okay.
and the giants had been speaking around there.
I wave my hands to get people's attention and point at my chest and say, and then make like a walk or like mime like I'm walking stealthily.
Ryan, how bad is the smell from Skippy?
Not terrible. He hasn't rotted too badly yet.
Okay. Then yeah, Grun will nod and accept. It's still worth leaving it to Skippy. Grun can't sneak for a damn.
All right, I will begin making my way through the forest, not along the path, towards the thing. I know you want a stealth roll. Just give me a sec.
I sure do.
And it's likely against active perception now because they sure as hell heard us coming.
All right, you start sneaking ahead.
Whichever side Skippy is going on, Lignyck is going to move to that side of the trail and ready his crossbow.
Oh, I think I see something in the forest by now, right? I see this big guy.
Yep.
Can I still see a Grun? Yeah, I can still see Grun. I will point at my eyes with my two fingers and then point to towards the giant and then pantomime being larger and stomping around but doing it quietly.
Okay, just to clarify, are you pointing at your eyes with the fingers I made out of clay?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so Grun will tell the rest of the party. I think Skippy sees the giants.
Can I hear anything, Ryan?
Give me a perception check. Yeah, they're not particularly stealthy. They're just not moving, and you can see that the hill giant is kind of crouched down behind a tree that isn't doing a great job of blocking it. That's not looking down the road towards where you guys are. He's looking off towards the east.
Then I'm gonna try waggling my fingers to do the semantic sort of requirements of it, and using a small bit of copper wire that was given to me by probably by Faewyn, and realize that my fingers are just not working properly. And then he will get frustrated and bang off the clay that's dried onto the fingers and try waggling his fingers again and hopefully get the spell right then. I'm not sure if I can still cast it with part of my fingers still bound in flesh. Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, it's clumsy at best, but I managed to cast message, and I will point at Gaelen, I guess. No, actually, I'll pick Faewyn and say the hill giant crouches ahead, while looking at something to the east. Should I investigate?
I'll relay to the rest of the group, but I think you probably should. What do you guys think?
I think it's worth investigating. I think the rest of us should get a little bit closer so that if something happens, we have Skippy in sight.
Sounds good. Go for it, Skippy. You can do it.
All right, I'm going to duck across the road and start working up the east side of the map. And I guess you want another stealth, right?
Yep.
About the same as last time. Uh-oh.
So you start making your way forward up the road, and from the direction that you'd seen the hill giant before, you hear him fairly clearly say, "I think I heard him coming." And you hear another voice, deeper and raspier, respond, "Shh, quiet fool."
I will stop, like, dead in my tracks, obviously, and turn and look. I think I can make eye contact with Grun, and I will like hold my hands up to stop, and then I'll point at my ear, and then I'll point where the hill giant is.
Okay, then
And
Grun's gonna motion to everyone to just stop and like stay still and like kind of like stay low kind of a motion.
and then I will waggle my fingers at and send a message at him, because I can see this other giant form, right?
Yes.
And I'll say, there's another giant hiding behind a tree. They know we're coming.
That's not great.
I'll waggle my fingers again and point at Grun and ask, what should I do?
Come back.
New stealth roll?
Yep.
All right.
You hear, as you sneak back, you hear another voice say, "Why, Lucius zombie hide if he's so tough? Why we follow him? Hmm?"
Oh, okay. So Grun's gonna. You want these giants to fight for you? You should come be able to face us yourself.
Whoever thinks they can be the most intimidating and make that stick, go for it.
I think I could.
Excellent. We're behind you all the way.
All right, so Grun's gonna kind of step out just so that he's standing on the road and in the clear, and he's gonna holler out, "I heard there's a zombie masquerading as a giant around here, trying to get other true giants to do his bidding. It's like if he's so powerful that these giants should be helping him, why doesn't he come face us himself? Where is he?"
Gaelen will step out beside him. Yes, I think he must be a coward in an attempt to help.
Yeah, you can get advantage on your check.
I'm gonna go hide in the bushes, by the way.
Faewyn will try and hide too.
That's awesome.
Oh
That
my
is
god.
best.
Yes.
So you hear this giant yell out, "No one calls Merced fallen a coward. Die!" And you hear crashing through the woods.
Do I have time to cast a spell? If
Sure,
it's a
you
bonus
can,
action, or
yeah, you can get a spell off before combat starts.
oh, fantastic! Then I am casting Spirit Guardians, and I'm using it in as a holy. So good.
So I'm just waiting for Jinxie, Skippy, and the tiger to roll. Does anybody have control over the tiger to roll it?
No, I don't think you have.
Okay, I'll roll the tiger then.
Ooh, nice effect.
Yeah,
that
I
looks
was
really
like,
cool.
wait, yeah. So that's Spirit Guardians. I thought, right, it has a feature for this.
I hope you're designating me as one of the creatures.
Yep, the entire party has been designated as safe from the spell.
Okay, so Faewyn, you're going to start us off with a 23 initiative.
I am just thinking for a brief second.
So, Grun, does that spell actually like create an aura of light around you, or is that just the affected area?
It summons spirits. Yeah, 15 feet. Yeah, up to just like so they'll be kind of coming back and forth within that area, just flitting around, looking like spectral forms, angelic creatures.
Okay, but they're not they're not throwing any light per se. They're just visible.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, they're just.
And is it daylight right now, Ryan, or no?
Actually,
Is the light accurately reflecting, or?
The light is dim in this area, just because the forest is quite heavy, and it is later in the day at this point, I think.
I.e., do I only have the 60 feet vision, and I can't see him right now, or
Yeah.
okay, then I will wait and I will firebolt any hostile zombie giants that come my way.
Okay. And the tiger, having not been given any commands yet, is going to sit tight. Faewyn, is Seraphina going to do anything?
He's too far away. She will ready that if he gets within 30 feet, she will go ahead and do a flyby to assist. But if he doesn't get that close, she won't do anything this turn.
Okay.
I will command Leo to guard Grun.
Okay.
I will spend a key and so I can see him and I can see
Yep.
that he can see me.
Yep.
Then I will spend a key to dodge, and I'm done.
Okay, Skippy.
I am going to move up stealthily to this tree. Maybe I'll go one more. See if I can see. Oh, I can't see anything. What is the hill giant doing?
Still crouching there, looking off to the east.
Okay, I will waggle my fingers and cast message at Gaelen and tell him to that the hill giant is standing still,
Okay.
and then that'll be my turn.
Okay, Grun.
All right. So, did I hear? Could I tell where the voice was coming from, like the general direction of the voice?
Yes.
Okay. Could you kind of like ping that on the map?
You can see where Galen's looking too. If you click away from yourself, you'll see.
Okay. Then I'm going to. There we go. Yeah, make my way up beside him, and can I tell that that one is a zombie?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, like from this distance, I could tell for sure. It's like, I, Grun Soft Tusk, call you out. Fight us.
Soft tusk. I love it.
Anything else on your turn, Grun?
You still have an action.
Yeah,
don't you?
actually, I have my action and bonus action. I was just trying to think what I can do that would really. Ooh, right. So I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon, and because that's a bonus action, and I'm going to cast it here. I would like to set it out here, right in front of him. So it's supposed to be to hit.
That's good damage if it hits.
That hits.
Okay, so it's gonna do what's it, 6 force damage, and I'll use my action to cast Sacred Flame. So this make a Dexterity saving throw beating 14.
It
Okay.
did.
All right, so then nothing happens. Well, it dodges it. All right, that'll be my turn.
Okay.
It looked like nearly as good a dex save as he can make.
He's more dexterous than I am.
He took ballet when he was a kid.
We still got to get you into heavy armor somehow.
I could take the feat. This is not going to be at level 8, because at level 8 I'm taking the ability modifier. Or if we find dwarves, I could train with dwarves and learn heavy armor. Yeah.
Gaelen, can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
A DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
That's correct.
I better drop inspiration on it.
Gaelen, you are taking 31 cold damage and are paralyzed until the end of your next turn.
Gaelen, how terrifying is that for you? You don't have good odds if you try again.
I wouldn't have any better odds than I had home go trying again. So it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to move there, and that's his turn. What's Jinxie going to do?
And am I still controlling Jinxie, or is Faewyn?
It will listen to your commands or Faewyn's.
Oh, he will listen to my commands. He just doesn't need me.
Yeah, if he hears your voice and doesn't see you, he'll still he still recognizes commands that are given to him and will follow them. But he might get distracted by the delicious smell of rotting flesh.
I'm also not sure how well he'll respond to commands in his head.
Oh yeah, you'd have to give the commands in the message spell.
Yeah.
So Faewyn, are you going to give Jinxie any commands, or is he just going to take the dodge action this turn?
I didn't know I was in charge of Jinxie, so yeah, I'll tell Jinxie to protect Grun and Gaelen.
Okay. All right, Lignyck.
Lignyck is holding his action until Krabby stops moving, at which point he is going to shoot him a zombie giant.
Okay.
Me being behind people in my group will cause me problems shooting, won't it?
No, he's way bigger than anyone in your group, so clear shot.
I can't do a move action because I'm holding my action, right?
That's right. You got one action now. So that would be a 17 to hit, which hits.
Womp womp.
All right. So that is your turn, I believe, right?
Yes.
Back to the top of the order with Faewyn.
Now she sees a big and scary thing.
How many missiles?
That would have been just level 1 at the moment.
So that's 3 missiles, right?
Yes.
Anything else?
No.
And is Seraphina doing anything?
She's going to move to there. Actually, she's going to move slightly over here so we're not all in one big line.
Okay.
I am paralyzed, so my turn is over and I'm no longer paralyzed.
I would like to pop up and fire at the frost giant there, and because the tiger's there, I have my sneak attack, right?
Yes, and you're firing at disadvantage because of the range.
Yes, but I'm aiming, so I'm firing normal.
Okay.
Nice.
17 hits.
16 damage. That's my turn.
Okay. Okay, Grun.
Okay, first thing is Cure Wounds on Gaelen, first level. So you got 8 back, Gaelen.
Dankeschön.
Then he moved. Yeah, he didn't move far enough, so I'll move my my spiritual weapon closer to the giant and take another attack at him.
Okay.
13.
That misses.
All right, then I'm going to move 5 here because that should So is he in that spell now?
Yes, he is.
So it's going to do 3d8 radiant damage. So 8 radiant damage.
On his turn, he will be affected by that, and he'll take the 8 damage. And that's it for your
So, yeah,
turn?
that's it. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's everything. Yeah.
Okay. He really doesn't like you, Grun.
What? Come on, I'm such a lovable guy. He just doesn't know me well enough.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get real well right now.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
yeah, 30 does hit.
No, he doesn't have advantage on the attack.
Thank God.
Oh, Whew.
Those were terrifying numbers.
So, yeah, the 23 still hits, though. So you're going to take 18 bludgeoning damage, it should say, because it's a great club, not an axe.
But not the 30 more crit damage.
Yeah,
Oh, that one misses.
the 12 misses. Okay.
I mean, 18 is still a pretty solid hit.
Oh, it is still a pretty solid hit, but it wasn't 48.
That's right.
That's damn near dead in one go. So yeah, I'm quite happy.
So apparently this guy's got reach, which is not surprising.
Nope.
Yeah, he's pretty big, but he is going to step a little closer anyway. So when Jinxie starts, she is in that. She's fine, though. It wouldn't really affect her anyway, since she only gets 1 attack in. And she's protecting Grun still, so in she goes.
That aura is 10 feet away from him? Is that right?
Yep. And she bites onto him, but her teeth don't pierce his armor.
Bless your fluffy heart, Jinxie.
Lignyck is going to dismount Krabby, moving to there. What is he wearing?
Could be breastplate.
Yeah, I think it's a breastplate.
So he's wearing metal armor.
Is it gonna get hot in here?
I was gonna say, in case nobody's expressed it recently, I love our artificer.
So yes, Lignyck is casting heat metal on his breastplate.
Okay.
I figure that's a good one because it's a gift that keeps on giving.
It's a particularly nasty spell because it's not a roll to hit and there's no save against.
And if he takes it off, it's wasting an action, and he's got worse armor class. Krabby is going to move. Krabby will stop there.
Okay.
And I might as well use my bonus action for him to take a swipe.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he's got those horseshoes of speed, so he's got ridiculous movement speed.
Right.
And Krabby has flanking.
Yep, that's a hit.
And now he is done.
Now we're on to Faewyn.
Faewyn's going to move to there, and then she is going to cast Frostbolt at him.
Frostbolt?
Yeah, I don't care if he takes the damage. I just care if he fails his save. Frostbite.
Okay, so he's the giant's going to make a con saving throw then.
He's probably bad at those.
Oh, apparently he is. Rolled a 4.
Excellent.
Come on.
Disadvantage on his next attack.
If he's gonna take the moment to have a bad con save.
That's the one. All right. Anything else?
He's got a
Faewyn?
case of the sniffles.
No, I think that's everything for me.
That's disadvantage on one?
Just his next attack.
Dang it.
Next weapon attack roll.
Right.
That's good, but I would have preferred he had disadvantage on his next save.
I know, I'm doing the best I can here. My spells aren't really made for that as a general rule.
No, we need we don't, but that's a bard's domain. And I think Leo has to make a roll, right?
Yeah, he did, and he failed. So he just gets one attack, which he gets anyway. So it doesn't matter. And he misses. Seraphina.
Fortunately, it was flanking, so he was at advantage.
Oh, right. He is flanking.
Oh, yeah. Good
Okay,
job,
so
Crabby.
that hits.
Crabby carrying his crabby weight.
All right, Gaelen.
So flank off Grun. And I will poke him in the back of his knee.
You sure do. Okay, so 12 damage then.
I'll spend a key to Stunning Strike.
Okay.
The target must succeed a Constitution save, be stunned, and my save is 14.
Passed.
Oh, why didn't you reverse those?
I saw that one and I was like, oh my god, that better not be the first roll. I'm going to be so mad.
All right, let's rinse and repeat.
That's a hit.
Key stun,
He's not stunned.
key flurry, rinse and repeat. But this is kicking now.
Okay, okay.
16 hits.
Key stun,
He will not be stunned.
kick,
That's a hit.
key stun.
Yes!
Damn it.
Nice.
He's stunned.
Nice.
Gaelen!
Yay!
I have one key left. You just ate them all. And I'm done.
Okay. All right, Skippy, what you up to?
So he's stunned right now. Does that mean I get anything like advantage or anything like that?
Yeah, you get. He's incapacitated. He can't take any actions. He can't move. He can't speak. Attack rolls against him have advantage, and he automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws.
All right. Well, I will move forward to beside Faewyn. Well, almost beside Faewyn. And I will fire. That should put me at normal range. Should have advantage, right?
That is normal range.
30. 30 is my range.
Yeah.
Why didn't it roll it with advantage? Oh, I can't save and roll twice. Alright. 16 damage.
Yep.
I am going to use my bonus attack to fire again.
Okay.
This time without the sneak attack. 19 hits, so another 8 damage.
Okay, he's still up.
That would be my movement, my bonus action, and my action. I think there's not much else I can do except for react.
Okay. All right, Grun.
Alright. So first I'm going to use the bonus action to have the spiritual weapon attack.
Yeah, you have to make a con save at the start of your turn because you might not be able
Okay.
to use a bonus action.
Oh, okay. But am I within 10 feet or am I at 15 feet?
You're kitty corner to him, so you're within 5 feet.
Ah, damn. Alright. Then, yeah. That's not going to happen.
So the creature can't make more than one attack or take a bonus action on that turn. So you can take the bonus action if you don't want to take an action.
No, I'll skip that. I'll skip that instead.
What you're saying is this is the anti-monk version of a giant.
Yep.
Thanks.
No problem.
Alright, well, in that case, I will use Guiding Bolt at 3rd level.
Okay.
22 to hit.
Uh-huh.
So 18 points of radiant damage.
And he doesn't get to use his fancy ability to stay up because Undead Fortitude doesn't work against Radiant, so he dies.
No, it don't.
Good job!
Oh my goodness.
So the giants gather round and look at the fallen zombie giant and say, and one of them says, guess Lucius and his undead aren't so tough after all. Fell to a bunch of puny wimps like you.
Lucius and his minions are nothing but lies. Do not trust any of them.
Me no think we trust Elf either. Elf's stupid. Tasty, but stupid.
Well, I'm not arguing with stupid, but I am not tasty. I'm stringy and old.
I mean, he is old.
One of the giants is looking at Gaelen kind of licking his lips a bit, like, sure he's stringy. Got some meat on bones. Maybe just eat tiger. Tiger big. Tiger feed us.
I'm gonna look at that giant that was just saying that. It's like, this giant had lots of meat on his bones. Look what happened to him when he tried to attack us. If you want to attack us, we can see how much meat you have on your bones.
The tiger is ours.
It's your choice, gentlemen. We would like to just be on our way.
I'll waggle my fingers and point at the giant who's speaking and say, "You can eat my flesh. I'm not using it anymore."
The giants all look at each other when the giant relays that, and they're like, really? You let us eat you?
Like, I think he would have spoke out loud in response.
Yeah.
They're looking at Skippy when they say that.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, then I have to turn to Skippy and ask him. Yeah, there you go. And ask him, like, Skippy, are you sure about this? If your flesh is gone, that's really gonna limit options down the road.
You still have my bones. You could use my bones, right? I say in a message.
I think so. Just in case, give me one of your fingers, like the flesh from one of the fingers.
I will. I actually pull out. I have a little pouch, and I pull out a couple of fingers, and that I've kept, and say, "Which one do you want?"
Faewyn retches at this moment.
How have you stored these fingers?
Just in a leather bag.
Ugh. Okay. Grun's gonna take the leather bag and just say, okay. Thank you. I will take all of these for now and figure something out. But yeah, if that's what you want to do, Skippy, I think we should at least then try to get something for your flesh. Like, a pound of flesh is worth a lot.
Well, safe passage through their land.
Or do they know of any old dwarf ruins? Possibly. I mean, we don't know how smart they are.
Safe passage to the ruins.
Yes. Safe passage to an entrance.
I'll let you negotiate, but tell him he can't have my bones.
Okay.
There will be no bones about it.
Then Grun is gonna kind of move up a little bit. He's gonna take a bit of a power stance here, and he's gonna say, "All right, we'll make a deal. You can have his flesh. I'll get it to you. We want safe passage through here, and we want some information from you. In return for that, you may have all the flesh from his bones."
Make a persuasion roll.
With help?
Nope.
Some guidance.
Yeah. Did you throw some guidance on that, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Gaelen and Grun, the persuasion team.
Seriously.
I don't care if it's by a hair. I don't care if it's always by one, as long as it works.
We eat halfling flesh, and you go safe. And you ask question while we eat.
Okay. Let me prepare the meat from his bones.
I am not going to be watching this.
Skippy's already got his dagger out, and he's making slices. And...
All right, Grun's gonna take Skippy off to the side where Faewyn can't see, kind of back here a little bit.
Would you like some assistance?
I mean, I'm used to this kind of thing, so it's not really a bother for me. If you want to help, you're welcome to, but I am capable of doing this on my own if you don't wish to do this.
I have no problem. I dress animals all the time.
All right, then yeah, with Galen's help, Grun will remove the flesh from Skippy's bones.
And I'll strip off to accommodate the procedure.
Excellent.
I'll when they get to a certain part, though, I'm gonna take a moment. Say goodbye, buddy.
Yep, absolutely. And Grun and Gaelen are going to allow you to take care of that bit yourself. It's a moment for yourself. And we'll proceed on, and nothing will be spoken.
Okay, so he'll cut his own thing off.
Yank it like a lawnmower.
Faewyn's going to go over here where the giants can't see her.
Yeah.
I'll roll a 19 to sleight of hand pocket that particular piece of something. You just have to eat it.
I was going to suggest, shouldn't that be the part that Grun holds on to?
No, thank you. No, Skippy can hold on to that. I got finger flesh. This is fine.
This is awful.
All right. So slowly but surely we skin me alive. I kind of help with my dagger, with skinning the delicate parts around my hands and stuff
You know
like
what?
that.
No. When you start doing that, Grun finds himself a little off put. It's like, you know what? No, I can handle this if we do it my way. But no. You know what? No, I got this. Please, Skippy, just kind of lie there as still as possible.
Okay. He does.
Can his flesh be kind of wrapped up in the bag that was his skin?
I mean, the way his skin was, I'm not thinking that was gonna work all that great. So the thing is done, and we'll give them the flesh, and we'll go afterwards to ask the questions, I guess.
Okay. So the giants approach and two of them start greedily gobbling up Skippy. The third one eats, but he has, I don't want to call it a contemplative look, but he looks like he might be trying to think because he scrunches up his face and he says, "The little halfling thing still alive as skeleton? No meat on bones?
He's a special kind of halfling. They're fine without their flesh.
He undead like zombie giant?"
I'm gonna
I
send
mean-
a message to the giant and say, Lucius cursed me.
That weird. And he continues eating. And then one of the other ones stops and says, "We eat cursed flesh? Do we turn zombies eating cursed flesh?"
Nah.
I mean, I've never really known anybody who's eaten cursed flesh before, so I mean, if you want, we can talk about it another time. Say in like a couple
I didn't
months.
think about that. I'm sure it'll be fine, I say in a message.
Okay. And he keeps eating.
So you will show us an entrance into these mountains?
Mm,
A safe path through the mountains.
Ask about the ruins.
mountains pretty dangerous. Giants don't like mountains much up there. They're big rocks. Swoop down, eat giants. Not very nice. They're stone giant. Live in mountain. Not very nice to hill giants either.
Stone giants are jerks.
Does this stone giant have a name?
One moment, please.
And his full backstory.
No, I think I might actually have a name. But I thought I wrote a whole description at some point, but I don't see it now.
Herbert it is.
I was gonna say we can make a placeholder name that'll permanently stick and become the whole thing.
Stone giant name Nebuna.
Neb-u-na.
Nebuna.
And you said they don't like hill giants. Is there anything they do like?
They like quiet. They live in mountain. Stay away from others.
Do you think you could show us where in the mountains? Like if we had like a map that you could show us on?
Hill giants no have map, but hill giants point at mountain.
Yes, so they do. All right, hill giant, you point at that mountain for me, big guy.
Looting the undead giant, by the way.
I was hoping somebody was going to take care of that.
Skippy's walking around and kind of moving his limbs and experimenting and...
Okay, so on the giant you find 70 gold pieces and 140 silver, as well as his breastplate and great club.
Skippy will check out that great club. Just
Okay.
and then walk on by.
I assume it's an oversized great club that would not be wieldable by any of us.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
But the good news is, if it's magical, it probably doesn't weigh anything.
Faewyn.
I can check. And she'll sit down with it for a little bit.
We could carve it out and use it as a traveler.
Are we sitting down with these guys while they eat Skippy for an hour?
I'm not. I am sitting down with this club far away.
Grun and Gaelen can just be having the conversation with them if others do not want to be part of the dinner.
Watching them eat Skippy? No, I'm good, thanks.
Right, but is it going to take an hour? Is the question. Like, is it a short rest?
No, it's not going to take them long to eat.
No, Skippy got rid of some bits already, so there's less to go around.
I'm just going to point out on the map here where you guys are currently. I pinged, and they are pointing up at that area there.
And that's in the same direction as we saw the rock, yeah? Or is above kind of where we are where we saw the rock?
Kind of above where you are, that mountain directly to the north is where you've seen the rock. So it's the next mountain over, past the rock's domain.
Okay. So if we are heading in that direction, we are not heading towards the rock, we're heading away from it. Ish.
Right.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, hunting grounds will probably not be as good up north, like in the higher ground, right? I don't think Faewyn wants to short rest with the giants.
No.
What? They're not coming with us, are they?
No.
That's what I thought.
They are after their little meal of Skippy, they are eyeing up Faewyn and Lignyck a little bit.
Right. Yeah, good time to leave. Thanks for your help, guys.
Yep. Other than the rock and the stone giant, is there anything we should be aware of going into the mountains?
They talk amongst themselves briefly in giant speak, and one of them turns to you and says, "We tell you more for that one," and points at Faewyn.
We're fine.
I don't taste good.
Thank you.
I'm very, very spicy.
No, that's all right. Yeah, this is time to leave.
Yes, most of our party is literally snack size. All right, let's get rolling.
Skippy's still walking around exaggeratedly, like he's just really like feeling out his newfound freedom now that he doesn't have flesh to constrict.
Yeah, does your movement speed increase because you're not, like, carrying around all the extra weight?
The last few days have been like you've been at a potato sack race.
Pretty much, yeah. Because Ryan actually told me that I was encumbered because of my flesh, and I had to get rid of it.
Oh, there you go. Then yeah, we'll move on from the giants.
All right.
How much time do we have left in the day?
By this point, I think it's afternoon. So you do have a few more hours of travel,
Okay, we'll push on.
and you don't have your cart with you because you left that behind
Yep.
in the mountain pass. So you can travel at a reasonable speed.
If Grun rides Leo, the party is actually quite mobile.
I'm happy to ride Leo.
I still move at a 25 though.
All right, you should ride Leo then.
Right.
Although I can't.
You could probably both ride Leo. I don't know that.
I was gonna say, yeah, at this point, especially with like skeleton.
Like Skippy, what is your total weight?
It was this morning.
Yeah.
A lot less than this morning.
You know what? I was about to Google something that would have absolutely put me on every watch list in the world.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No, I stopped myself, but it was a moment away from doing it when I went, you know what? This is one of those things you don't actually need to have an answer for.
How to dispose of my friend Skippy's body?
Well, it was going to be what is the weight of the bones of a small child, because that's about the size of Skippy, and
Yeah.
and that would have done it.
Yep, you would have.
Yeah,
been
don't do
carted
that.
off to jail, sir.
Welcome to the list.
Just flinching, you guys.
Skippy, can you give me a perception roll?
Sure.
You do note, since you've had your flesh removed, that Jinxie is no longer eyeing you up like a meal.
I'll spend the next little bit.
I was just saying it may take a day or two before you don't smell at all.
Yeah, the bones need to dry out. They probably still smell like flesh. I'll be easy about it. Like, I might get closer to him than I've allowed him before, but I'm not going to go over there and put my arms around him and start saying, "Hey, you want to chew on my bones?"
Am I riding Jinxie?
I think so.
You'll notice that Jinxie and I shy away from you a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I'll ride Gaelen.
Sure. I'll piggyback a little buddy.
Okay.
I need to get Skippy new clothes.
Probably.
I just bought these clothes. These are my fancy.
Yeah, they're
Does
really
Skippy
hanging
have
off
it?
you, though.
Does Skippy have a change of clothes by chance?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'll just cut off the bits that hang low.
Okay.
So if we've only got a few hours travel time left, then I don't think we'll try and squeeze in a short in between.
Okay. So you guys continue traveling up towards the north, and I'm going to do a quick roll.
Can I roll to try to do something while we're riding?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to take one of my sets of vestments and attempt to make new clothes for Skippy, like, or just like resizing them so that they'll like fit Skippy's new frame, and somewhat disguise maybe his skeletal form a bit. So stuff that'll like hide his full arms and legs and stuff like that.
Don't do that.
I don't know. What color are they?
Don't do that.
Why?
I got an idea, but it has to wait till morning. If
Okay.
Skippy is done with the sending stone I made him.
I'll waggle my fingers and say, yep.
Okay.
All right. I'll leave it up to you then.
Okay. So you guys do get across the valley and a little bit around the mountain to the north before nightfall.
And we don't. We will stop a little early if we have to, but we find somewhere that has cover from above. So, like maybe like a grove of trees or like a big overhang or something. Something so like a rock can't swoop down on us.
Okay. Can I get a survival check to find a good camping spot?
I'll do the survival check. I have a good
Yeah.
survival.
Okay.
I think you should have advantage because enough of us are trying to help with this.
I would think so.
Turns out I needed it.
Yeah, you find a great spot that is going to keep you safe from any rocks flying overhead.
Perfect.
I will try and find some food.
They will ready.
I also will try to find food.
I'm going to follow one of them around to throw out guidance.
Okay. Skippy, you can roll a survival check. Gaelen just finds enough food for 6 people.
Oh, boo earns to that. I should have had. No, I wouldn't have had advantage on it.
He gave you guidance, though.
Oh, he
I
did.
gave you guidance and add 4 to it.
So 6. That'd be 17.
Okay, you find 7 days worth of rations in your hunting.
Okay, so I'll take off what we've eaten today, and then I'm gonna add the rest to our ration storage if everyone's good with that.
Yeah, sounds good.
What exactly did I find?
You would have killed a deer in the mountains and dressed it.
Okay, I'll drag the deer back to the campsite and begin skinning it and tearing the flesh from the carcass.
God, Faewyn buries herself even further into her books.
Can we dress it away from the campsite?
He'll waggle his fingers and say, "What? I always do this."
Skippy, and she'll say this without looking at you. I'm just a little sensitive to this sort of thing right now.
And if we dress it away from the campsite, it won't attract bears.
He'll shrug and waggle his fingers back and say, "Good idea," and start dragging the bloody carcass with the entrails coming out of it across the ground away from the camp.
Faewyn will spend a little bit of time making her hut by herself. She will not invite anybody to dance with her this evening, and she will go immediately inside once it's done.
Oh, Faewyn.
Lignyck. Tower power.
Yep. And alarm.
Okay, yeah, you guys get your tower of power set up. And then, is there anything that you guys want to do tonight?
May I get any studying on my spell in tonight?
Yeah, you're not getting a full day of studying in while you're walking, so it's going to be smaller increments that you'll be working on the spell if you want to do that at night.
I'd just like to know that's what she's focusing on. She's tried to lose herself in that entirely right now.
Okay, that's fair. So you're not teaching Skippy the arcane language
Not
tonight, then? Okay.
I will kind of practice my semantic and check the components that have been lent to me and that sort of thing, and make sure everything's good. But basically, kind of practice on my own.
And from inside of the hut, Faewyn will send Skippy a message saying, "I'm really sorry. I just need a little bit of time to adjust."
he won't send something back. He'll respect her space. And Ryan, he'll find a spot to maybe, within around, but he won't go into the hut that night.
Okay.
Lignyck will command Krabby to guard over Skippy, to be in the space Skippy is in, so that he has somebody watching for him when he's sleeping.
Sounds good.
Skippy's Kin Rogue. You seem to be functioning at a higher capacity.
Yeah, I'll message back to him. The flesh was holding me back. I feel more like my old self. Not as good, but better.
That is excellent. So Ryan, we can get a short rest in before our long rest? Maybe?
Sure.
Who's it damaged? Is there obvious damage?
I have 7 points
I'm not.
if we're out of meta. So Grun's a little scuffed up, but that's it.
So you might want to use one of your dice, because you'll get it back on the long.
I have 4 cure wounds I haven't cast yet, so I will dispense those also before.
Don't drop them all. We still have to make it through the night.
That's true.
I think right now it's only Gaelen and myself that are at all injured.
I think so.
Sorry, yeah, that's right.
So yeah. So if you don't mind dropping 2 of them, because then we can shave that short rest off.
I still have to do the short rest.
Oh, you need the short rest. Okay.
I don't want to start a night without my key.
Fair enough.
I will cast a cure wounds. I will cast 2 cure wounds on Gaelen.
Hit me with one, and you might do well.
I will cast 2 cure wounds on Gaelen.
Thank you, Kin Lignyck.
Lignyck, I must say it's quite nice to not be the only person with the ability to heal other people.
It is most excellent. We do seem to be needing it more.
I hope Howard can.
Well, we do appreciate it, and if we haven't said it before, allow me to say it now, since yourself and Faewyn have joined this party. We have found a new way of looking at things, and the way that this party has worked has been phenomenal. And I just want to say we're very happy to have you along with us, and to have you as part of this adventure.
I agree with all of that. It does seem that since you've joined us, fortune has smiled on us more.
Once we get the time magic all working, we'll be in great shape.
Outside of the hut where Skippy is, he'll waggle his fingers at Faewyn and send him a message and say, "I want to tell you my name. I mean, not Skippy, the one that my parents gave me. Just in case something happens to me and I turn evil or something, you might be able to use it to gain power over me."
Well, I would like to know that, because getting to know it, and I'm hoping I'll never need it for that purpose.
And he says, "Ander,
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Ander.
good night." And as I don't need to sleep, I'm not going to.
Oh my gosh, if Skippy can be our night guard, that actually does really, really help a lot.
That is right, Ryan?
I'm not sure about that.
I think it is. I thought I read it the other day and it said it.
Is he classified as undead now?
Yes.
I just figured I should know for the sake of my spells too.
I just linked something into chat there.
Am I wrong? Okay. It's fine if I'm wrong. I just thought I was. Right.
Well, it says you don't require air, food, drink, or sleep.
But he still needs to rest motionless.
Must be motionless. So is that similar to the Warforged sentry then?
I think so.
Yeah. So look at it that way
Okay.
then.
I still have my spells from yesterday. I didn't use anything but a cantrip, so I don't need to rest for spells. So
No. We can still do watches.
well, you guys are gonna do watches because you don't know that he's out there. Well, I guess you can see him.
That'll just shift where we are in our short rest. So the first 2 hours will be Gaelen. The second 2 hours will be Gaelen. The third 2 hours will be Skippy by himself, and the last 2 hours will be Lignyck, Faewyn, and Skippy. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I also think Lignyck, now knowing about the fact that when Skippy rests, he's going to collapse into a pile of bones that's indistinguishable from a pile of bones. Have Krabby inside of the hut, because then there's just less outside to give us away.
Okay.
But then, yeah, otherwise, I think we'll just rest up.
Okay. The night passes uneventfully.
Nice.
Can you remind me what we heal on a long rest?
1 plus your constitution modifier.
During morning preparations, Lignyck is going to rummage through his gear. He's going to find one of his extra sets of clothing. And since he is a freakishly tall gnome, how does that compare to Skippy's height?
I'm actually short for a halfling.
Yeah, I think you're quite a bit taller than Skippy is.
So in the morning, while everybody's prepping, I'm going to do things. I'm going to do some very fast edits to some of my clothes, just so that someone isn't destroying vestments to make clothes for Skippy. And I am also going to transfer one of my attunements or one of my infusions from the sending stones that I had made Skippy to a cloak of Elvenkind.
Ooh,
Ooh, slick.
cool.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And then that way, if he isn't necessarily able to necessarily conceal himself through just what he's wearing clothing means, it'll better his sneakinesses.
Very nice.
And that's when I gained at level 6. So right now I've got the bag of holding, my crossbow, and his cloak of Elvenkind.
Yeah, awesome. I put that on and prance around it like a emperor with his new clothes. And then he'll stop and then look at Faewyn if she's there,
She's studying her morning spells.
and he'll waggle his fingers at her and say, "Is this better?"
She'll glance up at that and say, "Oh, that's a little easier. This has just been a hard adjustment. I'm used to everybody wearing their skin."
I assume my cloak would have survived it, so I'll pull my cloak over and cover my skull head. All right, let's go. It's been the longest night ever.
You need some new
Okay.
hobbies.
So you pack up and continue your way along. And as the day goes on, you round the mountain and see more animal trails along the way, but no signs of civilized life in these areas. And I assume you guys are keeping an eye out for any potential signs of the cave they were talking about.
I think we're looking for 3 things. We're looking for signs of the rock. We're looking for signs of life, and we're looking for signs of any possible old ruins or tunnels.
Okay. Well, the rock is easy to see, and it doesn't. You do see it lift off from the mountain in the morning, but it flies to the south and not towards you guys at all as you've been rounding the mountain. You can give me survival checks for looking for signs of civilization and perception checks for signs of like the cave for the stone giant that they were talking about.
I assume I have help.
Guidance.
Okay. You're quite certain that there's no civilizations in this area. There's no signs of roads or buildings. Nothing.
Can we make sure we're looking at this isn't underground?
Yeah, that would be perception checks.
Can I make one?
Yeah, anybody can make one. Anybody who's looking for caves and stuff.
What about anyone who's not looking?
Faewyn, you can make yours with advantage because Grun will help you.
Each person will roll their own individual perception rolls.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can take my first roll because it's really good.
That's not bad.
Okay, so as you come around and the mountain is in full view, Skippy and Lignyck, you both almost at the same time look up into the mountain that the hill giants had indicated, and you can see something is off. It's far too far away to see detail, but there's definitely something suspicious up the mountain.
Like something has altered the natural face of the rock.
Right.
I will convey that to Gaelen.
I will look through the spyglass.
Okay. Yeah, with him pointing out where it is and you looking with the spyglass, you can easily see that there is definitely some kind of stonework up high in the mountains.
Look around for steps or somewhat of a path.
You do see that there are some steps that start down the mountain, but it's not far from where the opening is that there have been avalanches and the stone stairways have collapsed.
And how far away are we talking?
It would probably take you a full day of just climbing the mountain to get up there.
That is an intense climb if we wish to try and get to it.
I mean, it is a possibility. I mean, he lives here. Well, actually, they didn't tell if it was he or she. So the stone giant lives here, and it might know something about the area that others wouldn't. And if we can maybe offer it away, find out if there's some. They said it like silence. So if there's something bothering it, maybe we can see, quiet things down for him.
Do you want me to do a divination to see if that's the right way to go?
That would absolutely be wonderful. Yes, please.
Be very careful about your wording.
Okay, let's work on that together.
The problem I have with this is that hill giants, I think the only reason they cooperated with us at all is because they're dumber than I am. Stone giants are probably less reasonable.
I can that that's the best way to make it to the Dwarven ruins.
Ryan, can I roll to see what I know about stone giants?
Sure, you can give me, I guess, nature.
Maybe history? Could I argue for that?
There could be historical stories about stone giants.
I feel like that's more where Grun would have learned about stone giants would be more like maybe like older texts or stuff like that. So yeah, could I argue for a history roll instead of a nature roll?
You can.
It's good. It's good because otherwise it would have been like just
What? Okay, so
get
Grun,
I get advantage on history rolls, so I thought I'd try.
That's amazing. Okay, so Grun, yeah, the stories that you've heard are all about uh, fighting against the giants and that they are fierce enemies, and they are yeah basically extremely violent when confronted. Skippy, you like you knew things about unicorns. Your people had stories about stone giants, and they're actually a little different from what what Grun's experiences were. Um, your people talked about a particular stone giant that they had befriended, and although it tended to live reclusively away from your people, um, there were halflings who would visit with the stone giant, and they talked about the giants being stone giants specifically being quite artistic. And although they are reclusive and live alone, they make their homes quite beautiful by working the stone.
Okay. Do I have any knowledge about any sort of ritual or approach mechanism? Like bring them a sacrifice of like a few sheep, or like is there?
It would be best to approach the stone giant in its own home territory underground, because they can become more erratic on the surface.
Okay, I will basically regurgitate all of that to Galen in a very authoritative tone in his mind, while waggling my fingers several times, I'm sure, and uh, suggest that perhaps we should wait here with a spyglass and try to observe its movement before we proceed to check out the cave.
Oh, really, kin skeleton? That's very interesting. And I regurgitate all that to everyone else.
And Grun will kind of put his arm around Gaelen again. It's like, okay, so remember when we were talking about you changing Skippy's name just, on a whim? It's still Skippy. Kin Skippy. And just kind of pats the shoulder and walks away because he's not having that argument again.
So you think we should wait to know where he is? Is that the idea?
As you're kind of walking away, Skippy will kind of laugh to himself and clack his teeth together as he does. But yes, I think that we should wait to see when he's inside the cave and when he's outside the cave, because I believe that it'd be safe. From what I've heard, it's safer to approach him within the cave, where he's less likely where they are less likely to react violently.
Well, if that's the case, I can't imagine he's going to come out of the cave for us to observe much movement, especially if as it sounds, they like to be left alone in the quiet. Like, I can't imagine they'd want to be out here if they have the option of being inside.
Let us look around for tracks and see if maybe they'll lead us to an easier way up.
Would anybody like to help me with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Good, because I needed it.
Searching around the base of the mountain, you are finding tracks in this area, humanoid tracks that are making their way around the mountain and up into the mountain.
What?
What size are these humanoid tracks?
They belong to medium-sized creatures.
Okay, that's more interesting, I think, than if they were large.
So they're basically taking the same road that we're taking?
No, they weren't around where you were before. But as you approach the mountain and take a look around, you're finding the tracks in this area.
So who would have gotten here first?
Possibly his earlier meal.
My fear is that whoever this is might have set them off, so that they might be in a foul mood when we approach them.
What do the age of the tracks look like?
Fairly fresh.
Or they could have not bothered them yet, or be there right now. This might be the best time to go and see who else might have interest in this stone giant. Because if Lucian sent undead to speak to hill giants, why wouldn't they send one up here or someone up here to talk to stone giants?
Let us follow the tracks.
The problem with that is that the tracks aren't going in one direction. It looks like this area that you've come across is a trail that has foot traffic in multiple directions.
Fresh in all directions?
Yes.
And different kinds of tracks?
They're medium humanoid, like booted footprints.
Sure, okay.
Okay, then there's just some people who take this trail on a regular basis. It's not necessarily some. Alright.
Are there tracks that look like they head up more than down?
Yes.
Let's follow those tracks. Or we
Alright.
could split up and each take a different set of tracks.
That sounds like a perfect idea.
Assuming that's sarcasm.
Yeah.
Like the heaviest dose of sarcasm I could possibly convey.
Okay, so are you guys in agreement that you're following the tracks up?
I'll lead following the tracks. Want another survival?
Not for the time being. The tracks, once you've found them, are pretty easy to follow. Like I said, they're fairly fresh. You do see that there's multiple sets of tracks heading up into the mountains, and they follow pathways that might not have been clear to the average person, but they wend their way through small areas between cliff faces and around trees and over barren rock.
Is there any evidence of stone steps being carved in or anything like that?
After a while, you do find some old stone steps that are quite rounded and worn, but they do head up into the mountains. And at this point, you don't see any tracks, but the tracks went to the stone staircase.
I'll gesture to everybody to follow me and point up the staircase.
Lignyck, can you keep a close eye on our flanks?
Do my best.
You guys continue on up the stone stairs, and they do go quite some distance up the mountainside before completely disappearing in an avalanche. But you see that whoever has been using this path has set up a rickety rope bridge that goes up to where the stone stairs continue.
I'll stop everybody and gesture to me to walk across the bridge first.
Yep, makes sense.
And I will kind of slowly make my way across the bridge.
Okay.
Does it require any stabilizing? Or?
It as you start across, can you give me an acrobatics check or a dexterity saving throw with advantage because you're going slowly?
Oh.
You step out onto the bridge.
Add 4.
Oh yeah, 4, right.
Good, because I didn't want to have to find another rogue.
So you start out and you feel a little shaky, but then Lignyck offers his encouragement, and you find your footing and make your way slowly across and up the bridge to the stone steps beyond.
Once I get there, I immediately scout the surroundings.
Okay, give me a perception check. So the immediate surroundings are basically the same. It's this stone staircase that's been chiseled into the side of the mountain, and it's a sheer drop up here, down a few hundred feet. So important to watch your footing. And it's going to continue up into the mountains for some distance still. It doesn't look like there's really a good spot to just stop and rest even. The stairs just continue on.
Try and judge the bridge for how well Leo and Grun might do.
Can I go next?
Give me a survival check, Gaelen. Yeah, this bridge is it's not in the best of construction, but if you go slowly, shouldn't be a problem to get across.
Okay.
Lignyck, again. Can I go next?
Yes, of course. And while he's going, I will tie a rope around Grun's waist.
Every step Lignyck takes across, wherever his hand touches on the bridge, he casts Mending.
Okay. Some of the ropes have frayed a little bit over time, so that does shore up the bridge, and everyone will be rolling with advantage as they cross.
Go, Lignyck.
Guess what I do? And am I rolling not at advantage because I'm the one who's doing that, I'm guessing?
I would say yeah.
Okay, so I am rolling what?
Either acrobatics or dexterity saving throw.
Oh yeah, both are fabulous for me. Jody just asked, do you have a rope around you? I would have done that, but I didn't say it, so no, I don't.
Good luck. You're fine.
Nice.
Check out that -1.
Nothing scary about that.
We'll try next.
Okay. Faewyn gets across, no problem.
I will tie the other side of the rope that's tied to Grun to Leo's halter and tell Leo to stay. Go ahead, Grun. Leo has you, and then when he goes, you will have him.
I think Leo and I should go last, just in case, because we are going to be the ones. If anything goes wrong, it'll be for us. So I think everyone else should go first.
How long is the bridge, Ryan?
It's about 30 feet across.
Cool, thanks.
As you wish, Grun, but I would appreciate it if I don't have to watch you die.
I would like to not watch you fall away. Well, me fall away from everyone quickly. So yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Show off.
Yeah, Gaelen basically dances across the bridge.
I don't think he's going to let you use athletics.
It's fine. How different can his athletics be from his acrobatics, right?
Right?
How different can it be?
How different can it be? Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be so different that it's going to change your roll from a 19 to a 9, right? So, with your acrobatics modifier instead, you still managed to make it across, no problem.
And you did have advantage that you didn't use.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that, yes.
Is someone going to roll for Leo and Jinxie?
I'll roll for Jinxie.
I'll roll for Leo.
And I'll roll for Krabby.
I don't know the bonus though.
Jinxie's fine.
I mean, Leo rolled a 19, so I imagine he's alright.
Oh, but do we have to build a new Krabby?
I'm not sure who rolled the 19.
That was Jinxie.
Okay. Grun, what was your second dexterity check for?
Well, I was rolling just for Leo, so it's a 10 plus whatever Leo gets.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Leo's fine. And Krabby's fine. Everybody gets across the rickety bridge
Woohoo!
that has been mended without anybody falling to their deaths. So that's good, because that would have been awful if that would have happened again.
Yeah, yet another group that doesn't have Featherfall, right?
Oh no. But we did have you covered. We were gonna both the gnomes were watching carefully.
Lots of chances to re-roll things if things went badly, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay. So you guys are all on the other side of the bridge now.
Continue again, Rogue.
Alright, I lead the way. But then I stop and I turn back and I point at Grun and then I point at you. And then I stamp my foot.
Do you want Kingrun to eat me?
What's going on?
I message in Grun's head. Grun, he did it again. He called me Kin Rogue.
Yeah, when we stop for the night again, you and I'll sit down and have a talk with him. You heard the last time. I'm not up for that on the road.
Okay, Skippy will shrug his shoulders, turn around, and lead the way.
Oh, with that long pause, I thought he was going to shove Gaelen off the edge.
Alright, do you want a survival?
Nope, you're just following the staircase up. It's fine. And so the stairs continue up and up and up. And a few hours into the climb, you do note that you are really, really high up. And looking down, like, who would build a staircase like this that is just a sheer drop and certain doom if you had a misstep? Like, it seems foolhardy, but at least it's wide enough that you could have like 3 people abreast, so you can stay away from the edge and not have to worry too much. But there are areas where the staircase is a little narrower because stone has fallen onto it and partially blocked it. You continue to not see any signs of footprints along the way. But Lignyck, you do note as you go that there are the odd carving in the side of the mountain that's extremely faded, but it looks like runes of some kind.
Ooh. Do I have any chance to if he points them out?
I do indeed.
Can I identify what they mean at all?
Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Faewyn.
Fascinating.
The runes appear to be orcish runes that are numbers.
Are they incrementing or getting smaller as we go up?
They're getting larger as you go up.
Are the stairs made for medium-sized people, height-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I record the numbers as we find them?
You can.
What number are we at now?
You are at 1500s.
All right, and so I have been tracking that. It's been increasing as we went. Okay.
Yeah,
1500s.
and it appears to be in groups of 100 every time that you've seen it.
Faewyn will start counting the steps between one and the next one and see if they match 200. By
They
the way,
do.
I'm not watching for anything else other than climbing successfully. So if a rock comes and plucks her off the side, she will never notice it.
Fair
She
enough.
is counting and climbing.
You do count exactly 100 steps before you get to the next number that says 1600s.
And do we think, reckoning back, that we started at 0? Or did we start partway up?
It's give me just a straight intelligence check.
Faewyn can exactly remember things too, so.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, you don't think that you've climbed 1600 steps. But because there were no runes lower down, You think that it might be possible that if the steps had continued all the way down the mountain, you might have. It's reasonable to estimate that you'd be at about 1,600 steps at this point.
Is
Thank you.
each of the steps 1 foot high?
Yes, exactly. They're all different widths, but they're always the exact same height.
This is an altitude marker.
Might be.
I mean, that's some pretty incredible precision.
But how many more steps to go, Gaelen?
Is there a way to guess from when we were looking up at that carved out?
You would guess it could be roughly another 500 steps.
It could be another 500 steps.
That's not that far.
Shall we?
You climb up further and come to another spot that has been worn out by an avalanche. This one is much wider than the first, but the bridge here appears to be in better shape, with proper handrails made out of rope on each side as well. So as long as you go slowly, it's not a problem to cross it. Like, you don't have to make any checks to make sure you don't plummet to your doom.
All right. So we get to the top?
No. The problem with the bridge is that it doesn't go up along with the stairs. The gap is too wide, and so it goes straight across. But you do get across, and on the other side, you find that there's a rock wall that has been used to climb up an additional 100 feet.
And this particular obstacle is going to require a skill check, is it not? Or maybe a few.
Maybe.
I'm curious how the cats are going to manage this.
Gaelen, Grun, how much rope do we have?
We have 100 feet of, so we have 100 feet of silk rope. We have 20 feet of poles. We have 50 pittons, 2 grappling hooks, sledgehammer, a hammer, 2 lengths of chain.
Who's carrying all this?
Most of this is in the bag of holding. Anything that will fit in the opening of the backpack.
I forgot we had a bag of holding.
Yeah. So I pull out all of these objects which could be useful for items that are for climbing. This is what I think we could make use of right now.
Do we have enough rope to make a harness? And maybe we can climb up and then pull them up with the rope and harness?
Well, does anyone independently have rope? Because that's just what's part of the group kit. So if anyone got rope with their adventurers kit and stuff like that, you would have your hempen rope.
No, but I have we could write more of our own runes on the walls if we wanted, but no rope.
I do have rope on me.
Okay, so I would say we would use Galen's rope to make harnesses, and then the silk rope, just because it has the slightly higher tensile strength and easier climbability, then that one could be used for climbing.
And we got a couple of climbing kits, yeah?
You are right. We have two climbers kits. Thank you
Right.
for reminding me. I did miss that.
Okay. So because you have the climbers kits and all of that gear, I'm not going to make you make checks to climb this cliff face, because you can climb up, put in the pittons, secure the rope all the way up 100 feet to the top, and that makes it an easy climb for everybody. So you don't have to make any checks there. What I will say is that I want a survival check for each harness for the cats, and you're going to make some athletics checks to haul them up the side of the mountain.
Yeah, if somebody wants to help me on the athletics checks.
Somebody want to help me on the survival?
Yeah, I'll help Skippy.
I
harness
think
the
I can
cats.
help either of you.
Oh, do I have guidance too?
Yes, you do.
How about a critical success?
One of the cats is really cinched up.
Good job.
Okay, you've made a couple of very good harnesses for the cats. You're pretty sure that they're not going to be the problem if there is a problem at any point. And so, yeah, Grun starts. Which cat are you hauling up first, Grun?
We'll start with Jinxie to test it out. Lighter load, just work out any kinks before we do Leo.
Okay. So you've already made 3 checks. Can you give me 2 more? No problem. You haul Jinxie up to the top, with the rest of the party, and that just leaves Leo, who is a heavier load, so the check is going to be a little bit harder.
And Crabby.
Okay. I'll be
Crabby.
taking. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be taking advantage of the advantage rolls at this point. So
Can Crabby just be resummoned?
In the morning. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if we lose him, it's not the end of the world.
Says you.
I don't know how you're keeping track of that.
It's the end of the moment.
All right.
I think
you
Leo's coming up.
Yep, you successfully get Leo up with the rest of the party.
Excellent job, King Cleric.
Oh, all these muscles for Dick.
Guidance.
Yeah, Crabby's heavy, right? Because he's solid metal.
Each of these pairs of rolls, I would be guidancing.
Yeah, I figured I would just roll
Okay.
and see. So, like that 23, I'm probably not going to worry about re-rolling that one because that one I think is going to be fine.
Well,
gotta
I'm
re-roll the
taking
other.
them in pairs of 2 as though you're rolling advantage. So that one you rolled 23,
Okay.
the next one you rolled 14, but with guidance you would have gotten at least 15, so it's fine. So the next one you've got a 9, and I need another roll. Okay, I'm going to want to see a guidance on the 12.
+4.
Good
Okay,
timing.
give me another set of rolls. Okay, and one more set.
Guidance.
Lignyck's all about his party members not falling down the mountain.
I feel like you didn't do that as well, and somehow you just feel like you've got a second shot at it.
I'm +4.
Okay, it's fine. Crabby gets up.
Woohoo! Grun's a little tired now.
Yeah, it is getting later in the day at this point.
Woohoo! Good job, Grun!
Take a moment and rest.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lie here for a minute, guys.
Well, there's not really anywhere to lie. The steps aren't super wide.
Oh, that's fine. He's laying like vertically, across a few steps, like going up and down.
Okay.
His like feet are planted, but he's just laying there, just taking a few deep breaths, slow breaths. I mean, we're at altitude, and he was just lifting up freaking tigers and lions and bears. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that cliff ascend, where does that roughly put us on our ascent? Do we figure a couple more 100 feet, or?
There is a rune that says 1900s. And Gaelen, you remember from when you were looking at the spyglass that it's not too much further to where you'd seen the stonework.
We are nearly there. Let us press.
All right, away I go. You want anything for survival?
Nope.
No, perception. I'm gonna be extra perceptive and quiet so that I can hear anything that might be at the top.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
Man, I'm on
Oh.
fire tonight.
No kidding. So you sneak on up ahead, and you don't hear any sounds that are suspicious at all. And as you come around the final bend, you do see what Gaelen must have seen through the spyglass. There are 2 larger-than-life statues, one on either side of a cave entrance.
What do the statues look like?
They're large humanoids with braided beards, and it appears that they had been holding weapons aloft, but they've since crumbled and broken.
Are they of a rather stout stature?
They do look that way.
Like, I mean, they're big, but I mean, stout for their size. Yeah.
Similarly shaped to the ghost that we met.
Yes.
I will poke my head around the corner and message to Gaelen and say, 2 dwarven statues, entrance to a cave. No enemies.
Excellent, we will come. He has found some Dwarf statues. King Grun, it looks like we may be closing in on your brethren.
Well, seems to be.
So we'll head up. If Grun is ready.
Yep, he's good to go. He gets back up and starts walking.
All right, I'm going to start. Well, now that everybody's there, I'm going to move ahead and start scouting the entrance, looking and looking for traps.
Kin Gnomes, if you have not seen Dwarfs before, this is most likely what they look like. They're very racist.
I'll keep looking at Grun and the statues.
Okay. So you take a look around for any signs of traps. You don't see anything. You do note that although The outer walls of the cave here are a little bit more rough and natural looking. The floor itself, despite being a little bit covered over the edges, is well worked stone, and you can see tracks through the dust on the stone.
To Gaelen, there's been evidence of people traversing this area, walking through here.
Then we should hurry.
All right. I move ahead. Anybody coming behind me? I'm going silently.
I'll follow.
Well, then Grun will, come behind at the very, very rear.
Inside the room, you see that some of the walls to the south and the northwest have collapsed. And you can see that there's a staircase leading down in the northwest, and there are stones that have partially covered the stairwell and filled it.
Okay. Is it been any excavation of it?
It does appear to be clear enough for medium-sized people to fit through comfortably. And you do see that the tracks continue down.
I think we should rest here and continue down after we've rested. It's been a full day, right?
It has.
Especially the Grun.
And my quads are barking.
Yeah, I bet.
My quads are probably grumbling at the bottom of a hill giant's stomach right now.
Is there room enough for me to put my hut up in here?
Yes, certainly. As you come towards the stairs, a ghostly figure appears in the middle of the room.
And can I do an Arcana check to know enough not to look at it?
You can give me an Arcana check. You realize that this is different from a ghost. Although it is a transparent figure, it's not showing any of the typical attributes that you would expect of a hostile ghost whose rest has been disturbed. Instead, it stands there, and it looks like a dwarf with its arms crossed, and it is speaking in a jovial tone in a language that you don't understand.
Oh, 1 moment. She'll gesture like it should wait. I don't know if it'll figure that out or not, but she'll sit down, and 10 minutes later we'll know comprehend languages.
Did Grun understand any of what the dwarf was saying, since Dwarvish and Orcish runes have been similar?
The language, the spoken language, is quite different, and you're not able to understand what he's saying.
Actually, I don't need to take 10 minutes. I can use it once per short rest as part of my ratio. So she'll cast comprehend languages.
Okay. You cast comprehend languages, and it's partway through the ghostly figure speaking, but you get the sense that this is some kind of projection, a magical projection, and this being is welcoming you to Gortberg.
Cool, guys. We're being welcomed to Gortberg. It's not a real ghost.
That's rather incredible. I guess this must be Gortberg, or was Gortberg?
I think so. Does it start over again, or does it just finish once and is done?
Once it finishes, it disappears.
That was fascinating.
That was not a real creature?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then I think this is a good place to set up, as we have a bit of an alarm built in.
Lignyck can cast that too, I think.
No?
You can't cast alarm?
Oh, alarm. Sorry. I thought you were talking about what spell listening, talking, listening, comprehending. Anyways, yeah. Alarm.
Can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
Yes, but it won't go well.
And Lignyck, you don't need to roll if you don't want to, but you could potentially roll better than your passive.
What's his passive?
19, I think.
My passive is 19.
Mine's an 18.
Well, you guys are just ridiculous.
Can't get anything past our group.
Apparently not. You all rolled amazing.
And plus I rolled another crit. Oh my god. Just wasting them.
So in this room, all of you see faint etching in the far wall on the west of the now familiar symbol of Charot. You also see a seam in the wall to the south that is in the shape of an archway, and the starburst itself. Your rolls were so good that you can see that it is made up of teeny tiny little runes. And those of you who speak Orcish see that it says God-fearing talk, see work Orcan. But Faewyn, you still have your comprehend languages up.
I do.
And you read it as saying, let the faithful speak his name and see the glory of the dwarves.
Faithful speak his name and see the glory of the dwarves.
Yep.
Hey, Grun, any chance you say out loud what you read?
Yeah, I would convey to the party what I think it says. Yeah.
Oh, I'll say, oh, no. It means let the faithful speak his name and see the glory of the dwarves. You're no rusty on your dwarfish, aren't you?
Does that mean Orcan means dwarf?
I don't know Dwarfish. I know Orcish.
Yeah, orcish, dwarfish. It's all the same.
We've already established, Kin Grun, that you're mostly a derf.
You just didn't know about it. It's all good. You do now.
I mean, you keep saying we. I mean, I keep getting included as we have agreed. I have chosen to say.
Well, I don't think there's reason to agree or not agree with. You are.
We don't have like solid proof this is the case.
We've got a century-year-old textbook basically telling us the whole history of it. You clearly are. But if you're nervous about it,
I still don't accept the name dwarf.
there. It's okay. And she'll pat him on the shoulder.
Grun will kind of like stomp off.
I don't know what he's about. This is exciting times.
He's being a little petulant about it. None of you are particularly worried about him.
So, are we supposed to say Shiro? I'll say to Grun.
And you're using your message still?
I mean, I don't know. Can I look at the mosaic or the you said there was like a starburst of runes, and then there was the symbol of Shiro. There's nothing else around the Shiro.
Yeah, the symbol of Shiro is the starburst, and the starburst is created out of tiny little runes.
I mean, I don't think that's the case. I don't have much to go on unless they're asking us to say our names.
Why don't you try saying Shiro?
Well, it says for the faithful to do it, and I'm not exactly a faithful, so that could go poorly.
What is happening?
Maybe you're overthinking it.
I can try, and I'll convey to the party that that Skippy is suggesting that I say Shiro's name out loud and see if the door opens or something.
Which you just did.
Well, Grun would have said it quietly to the group, like away from the door instead of like at the door and loudly.
Kin Wizard, what did you say the runes said?
Let the faithful speak his name and see the glory of the dwarfs.
Kin Grun, I think you are the only faithful here.
I'm certainly not.
All right.
Do we want to wait till morning? How are we feeling about this?
I'm feeling like this is something to sleep on.
As you wish. Kin Faewyn, can we set up a hut?
I'll do that. Would anybody like to join me dancing?
Can I?
Sure thing.
Dance.
Okay. Dance at the hut.
Oh, not quite enough.
Oh,
And I point towards the corner. Door open. Door.
Oh, careful with that.
Right here.
Check out where Lignyck's pointing.
I will check it for traps.
Okay.
You may need to pause your ritual, Kin Wizard.
okay. I'll stop dancing.
I don't have my thieves tools created. I'm just doing it right.
Okay.
I can't move Jinxie, but I'm hoping Jinxie comes with us.
Ah, God damn it. Another goddamn 20.
I had one night like that. It had Ryan questioning what I was doing. And 2 sessions later, I followed it up with another session of ones.
I'm pretty sure Shane's cheating like crazy here.
Yeah, exactly.
Custom skill. Roll a d20 that has all 20s on it, right? Okay, you take a look. You don't see any traps.
Is it locked?
Is it open?
I indicate that it's not locked and that it's safe to open.
Do you want to try?
I can. Perception. What do I see?
in here, the layout of it appears to be
Jesus Christ!
So
Disbelief.
wow. You find what appears to be an ancient stables that has survived fairly well, given that it was hidden away behind a secret door. And in one of the stalls, you find a saddle that is still in excellent condition.
I will run back to Lignyck and motion him to come see.
Lignyck follows with Krabby right behind him.
And I point excitedly at the saddle, and then at Krabby.
Krabby's getting geared up.
Oh, you think? I'm also going to look at the saddle.
It's a really nice looking saddle.
I will say to Lignyck by a message, maybe we can take a short rest before we, well, I guess we can identify it over a long rest.
You want to sleep in here?
I think this would be the best place. Nobody would be able to find the entrance.
Lignyck will poke his head out the door and wave at everybody else. Come, 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 come.
Will that door open from the inside?
Well, you stay out there and we'll close it and we'll see. I closed the door.
Okay, who's in and who's out?
I'm in.
Looks like me and the cats are out. Oh, Grun's still out.
Galen and Grun are out and the cats, and the rest of us are in.
Okay, I'm in.
We're going to see if they can open it from the inside, or if they now live there.
I'm out. I'm out.
Okay, so you close the door and the wall seals up again.
Can we open anything from this side at all or no?
You don't see any handles or anything like that?
I'll say to Faewyn, try saying the name.
No, I'm not saying that name. I will send a message to Gaelen, since he was the one who asked, and say, we don't appear to be able to open the door here, but we're not saying the name yet, so, because we're not faithful, so it worries me a little bit.
Well, we need to know it can be opened from the inside before we commit Grun to being in the inside.
And you want me to say the name in here?
Someone must.
Like, Nick, do you want to say the name?
What name?
The name that opens the door.
Cheryl.
And the door appears again.
Ta-da!
And I let them know, we can see the door now.
Congratulations, Kin Lignyck. You are faithful.
I don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
So Galen will lead Leonardo to squeeze in there.
Okay.
Kin Grun, will you join us?
I'll message Faewyn. Do you mind if I try feeding Jinxie tonight?
Go for it. It'd be good if he and you got reacquainted.
I'll feed him.
Okay. Yeah, he accepts the food. It's no problem. Although he does look at you a little strangely, but not with open hostility anymore.
I try to talk to him like, oh, can I target him with my spell?
I'm not sure.
Well, I try.
I believe it's something creepy.
Yeah, I try to send any some reassuring messages. So
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about them having to understand the same language as you or anything.
No, it's not telepathy. Like it won't do any translation duty, but it's effectively the same as if he's speaking directly to Jinxie.
So Jinxie purrs and rubs up against you.
yay! I scratch him hesitantly.
Okay.
You'd give the best back scratches right now.
Right.
No, remember those skull scratchers? The thing with all the little bombs
Hate
that you
them.
put over your head.
Oh, yeah, no,
Really?
hate
I
it.
love them.
Yeah,
So the only problem with the stables room here is that you don't have a clear 10-foot radius area that you can pop up the hut for the night. But
Just wait. Erect the Tower of Power, and then we'll have enough room.
Yeah, that'll
But the
punch
ceiling
some
might
space.
collapse on us, and I think I wouldn't like that.
I feel like we should be quite safe in here.
Safe is good.
I'm hoping that Faewyn might work with me on my Arcana tonight.
Yep.
Cool.
She still doesn't look you directly in the eye as much as she used to, because she's still working up to it, but she's trying real hard.
Galen will approach Grun with his tattoo materials with a hungry grin on his face.
Grun will pull off to the side and and have another talk with Gaelen about Skippy's name and how who he is doesn't necessarily change. His name doesn't change just because his body changes a little bit. We don't call you fat Gaelen and skinny Gaelen or drunk Gaelen or none and sober Gaelen. You know, you're always just Gaelen.
You have an interesting perspective on that.
I mean, if he's still your kin, he's still Skippy.
Galen listens carefully.
Then does whatever the hell he wants.
Skippy, can you give me an intelligence check, please?
Sure. My luck runs out.
You feel like you just maybe, something just seems off, and you feel like you're going through the same gestures again. Why don't you try again?
Oh.
Add 4.
Well, the 10 actually is the difficulty you're going for.
Ah,
So,
Nice.
yeah, so Faewyn's little time trick does help you, and that is your 10th night of studying the arcane language successfully. And so you are now considered to have a beginner's level of understanding of the arcane language. It's going to take more time to study to become fluent, but at this point you can study on your own without Faewyn having to guide you through it.
And Faewyn just considering when she sees that he's successfully understood everything tonight.
Ryan, because we can't spend any time hunting today, can Grun and Gaelen get in a full session?
Yep.
Oh, that was a good roll, Grun. I was able to knock 8 more hours off.
Excellent. So we got 11 more hours to go on the first one.
Wait, you worked for 8 hours through the night, so you're not sleeping at all?
Well, we did the 6 during we traveled 8. We're going to rest 8, and during the other 8, we did 6 hours of tattoo.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so the night passes fairly uneventfully, except for what I sent to Gaelen.
Sorry, I'm a very slow reader.
Don't have to apologize to me.
Remember, Galen's not bright. Abstract is hard.
Yep. All right, so anyway, your plan works. The night passes uneventfully as you sleep in the old stables, and you wake up in what you assume is the morning. It's totally pitch black in here, but yeah.
Gaelen takes the first 2 watches, so his trance is during the last 4 hours, and he will awaken from that and immediately reach into his backpack and grab a sketchbook and start sketching. And what he's sketching is I've put into the chat, and he'll King Grun, a moment. Actually, everyone,
What's wrong, Gaelen?
I had a vision during my meditations. One that you will find familiar. You may recognize these 3 doors.
Yes, I definitely do.
These are the 3 doors that represent the passages to Shiro, the Stormlord, and Dowreth. And as we have experienced before, the doors to Shiro and Dowreth were nearly welcoming. I knew that if I went to either of them, that either of the gods would be there and welcoming to talk. Except the Stormlord, which we've had troubles with before. Again, this door seemed unpassable. It seemed to actually be partially covered by stone. And what I was focusing on and trying to pay attention to was why this would be this way. And I thought about the world as we know it and how it isn't limitless. And I thought, are the heavens and the hells the same? They must have some sort of bounds. And I approached the door, the Stormlord's door, and as I touched it, I saw it was laid out for me simply. I could see a representation of the heavens and limbo and the hells and whatever might be between them. But I couldn't understand, and I still don't, how a god, the Stormlord, could hide in the middle of a battle that's happening in the heavens, because he's not behind that door, so he's somewhere else.
Do you mean maybe he's here on the mortal plane?
I don't know. You know much more about the spirit world than I.
Perhaps he's imprisoned, I say to Gaelen.
Perhaps, but it felt to me that's possible. There was no clear answers, but it felt to me like he was hiding. And the question I would have is then where would a god hide from gods?
I'd say it either has to be amongst mortals or in a place even the gods don't dare go.
Kin Wizard?
I think that's logical.
Hmm. So there's no chance that there's maybe an old halfling tale about a god hiding in the Shire? You know?
I would say no.
Uh,
Kin Grun, you must have heard a story of some sort where could a god hide in one of its avatars or aspects or something?
Yeah, could it hide inside of someone? Because that'd be a really cool trick.
22 on religion, Ryan. Have I heard anything about this before?
Can I make a religion check as well? I have a +8 on religion.
Okay, yeah. So the both of you have similar levels of knowledge in this. You, as you understand it, there is a divide between the mortal realms and the the other planes where the gods exist, and it is not easily broached. Like you literally have to die to go to the heavens or hells or limbo, and gods, as far as you know, are not able to travel directly. As Dowreth explained, avatars to Grun, they are not the god. It is a like an anchor for a god in the mortal realms. It's a created being that that holds the ideals of its god and some power, but it is not the god itself. And you have not heard of gods reversing across that divide to the mortal realms.
Okay, well, it seems like he's not likely to do that then. That we know of.
Although if one wanted to hide from gods, trying to get to where they shouldn't be able to get might be a good place.
True, that is possible.
I mean, is it also possible that the Storm Lord's no longer a god?
Is that what a god would have to do to be able to hide in the mortal realm?
I mean, I would think so. If they can't be here as a god and they need their avatar to be here, I would think the only way a god could come here would be to give up its godhood. I just can't think of any other way that would work unless there's some other way around it that we just don't know about.
I feel one way or another we need to try and find out, I guess, what happened to the Stormlord, where they may be. Although maybe divination is not a good idea to use for that.
No, a little scary right now.
If gods are looking for the Stormlord, perhaps it would be best not to draw their attention to the Stormlord.
It's a good point, Gaelen.
I think we still need to find out what happened to the Stormlight.
Yeah, we do. King Grun, do you think you could speak with Dowreth? Not, you have to be clever, not to, not to mention or even think about the Stormlord, but to ask how a god might come and be in this realm, like how Dowreth would do it.
Well, one, Dowreth isn't really speaking to me right now, so I don't think that would go over very well. And I'm also pretty sure that if I were to start asking questions along those lines, Dowreth's not very very unobservant. I think he'd catch on pretty quick why I was asking.
But King Grun, I saw how well you pulled one over on that hill giant, and remember back in Velshani, when that very clever guard was befuddled. You know, you could probably convince anyone of anything.
Oh, you flatter me. Ah, Gaelen, you know me so well. But I don't think I can pull one over on Dowreth. I wouldn't want to take that chance. He seems to know a great deal about what goes on in my life. I don't want to draw his attention to that. I don't believe that he wouldn't be able to figure out what we were trying to keep from him.
The last time you used your divination abilities, didn't you say that they were taken care of by a lesser being, not Dowreth?
Yes, and I imagine also imagine a lesser being would not know how a god could be there if the gods themselves only know of no way other than the avatars.
That might be true. They may know. And if you're asking them, then you're not asking Dowreth, right?
I mean, they conveyed his annoyance and intention very clearly. That unless I start doing for him, he will not do for me much more than providing me access to my spells.
The gods really are a hassle.
I mean, it wasn't this hard before.
Faith should be much easier.
Now that, my friend, is a debate that should only be had after a few drinks of ale.
Ooh, drinks. That sounds good. So I have basically told you everything I know. I don't think there's anything else to glean from it. All I can tell you is it seems important.
I wish I could have been more help.
Well, I think it's just something good for all of us to be aware of and thinking about. Maybe as we continue on, we'll gain some more clues or gain some more knowledge that could shed light on what this all might mean.
Kin Grun, you were able to change your deity less than a month ago. Perhaps you could reach out to the Stormlord and change your deity again.
I mean, it's possible. I'm damned for the wall anyways. So, well, if there is a wall, who knows? Yeah. I mean, it's more it's a little more complicated than that. The only reason Dowreth took me on is because they're desperate for worshippers here in our world, and they needed someone. If it was a regular god, they would not welcome such a fickle follower.
The Stormlord may be looking for any opportunity at this moment.
I mean, if that was the case, why would they not have accepted me previously? I first made an attempt to meet the Stormlord before returning to Dowreth, and as you said, the door was closed.
Yes, but that's the key to this new discovery. That door didn't reject you. Stormlord didn't reject you. Stormlord wasn't there. You have to look somewhere else for the Stormlord.
Well, I can meditate on it and see what happens.
I will as well.
Me too.
I'm probably going to study time magic.
Because then you can just take us back in time before there were any gods, and we can solve all of this.
Well, gods are kind of tricky,
We can be the gods.
but I'm not sure that, I don't know if meditating on them will be useful.
I guess that's all there is to say on it. Shall we move on?
Okie dokie.